Okay, moving on to the next question. Writing simple formulas. So I'm going to do a quick tutorial on that. So what do they want? Get the spreadsheet to calculate information about the current stock value for each variety of flour. And they tell you how to calculate the stock value. This is pretty standard for the kind of question you might get in a functional skills assessment. Usually the column headings are in bold and the words for what you need to do with them aren't. Now, they're not always as obvious as multiplied by, i.e. times. Sometimes they use words like less, meaning subtract. Or if they're really mean, they might say as a fraction of, which would be divide. Just be aware of that. Another point I'm going to make is what for mathematical operations are. You know add, and you know subtract. They're obvious. But on a computer, times is that star, called an asterisk, and divide is this slash. And if you find that difficult to remember, hopefully if you've got a full-size keyboard, there's a number pad on the right, and you should see all four of those operations on the number pad. Divide, times, subtract, and add. So that's where they all are. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to calculate information about the current stock value. Now we haven't got a column for stock value, so let's add one. Again, be lazy, copy and paste. And because we formatted it as a table earlier, it's already made that stand out, and so that's why I like to format as a table. Saves you work in the long run. And we calculate it by price multiplied by number in stock. So we're calculating. Every time you're calculating in Excel, you must press equals. And that just tells the computer you're working something out. That's all it does. I would think of it as equivalent to this is. So stock value is equals price multiplied by number in stock. And because I'm looking at this row first, it's this price, which is at C2. So I could type in C2 or just simply click it. So I'll show you the clicking it way first, multiplied by number in stock. Press enter, and it's done the whole lot. Now that's slightly new. It didn't used to be like that. In the olden days we'd have done equals C2 times D2, like that, and hit enter. So it's, it's getting a little bit more slick and saving you time. And this always happens when it does something automatically. If it hadn't done it automatically, you just click in that cell and you see this little black box in the corner. Hover the mouse over that, the pointer, the cursor changes, or the mouse pointer I should say. Drag it all the way down, and that's the other way of doing it. All it does, that little box, is continue a pattern. Here's another pattern. Now what do you expect to come next? Computer guesses and it does your pattern for you. Highlight those two. What would you expect to come next? That. It's quite clever actually. It's always worth trying that little black box if you want to continue a pattern. Can it work out this? Doubling each time? Let's have a look. No. So it's not a genius. Anyway, get rid of that. So we calculated our stock value. So it says to save our work as flowers 1. File, save as. Flowers 1. Right, now this is required in every paper-based city and guilds assessment, so you want to be aware of it. You need to be able to show formulas, because if you're sending off your exam paper and all your printouts, they need to know that you haven't just typed these prices in. They need to know that you know how to do that. So if you want to show formulas, looking at all these tabs, surprise surprise, it's in the formulas tab, and it's over here, show formulas. Now all the column bits always go haywire when you click show formulas for some reason, but you can see that there you go, there's those formulas. I'll make the column bits normal, highlight the whole thing, double click, this is the quick way, and then I'm going to save it as flowers 1 formulas. If you're looking for this underscore character, it's shift and the one that's next to 0. So I've saved that, and now it says go back to your original version, flowers 1. So I'm going to close it. This closes the specific spreadsheet I'm using. This would close Excel. So I'm going to use this to close the specific spreadsheet. It'll save time. And go back to this one. And that's writing simple formulas complete. I hope that was helpful.